Hello, we are Craig and Janice, and welcome back to Cruising Off Duty. If you've been watching the channel, you know we're doing our summer sailing series. This year, we left our home base of Kingston, went through the beautiful Bay of Quinte, then out into Lake Ontario, where we do kind of a westerly, counterclockwise passage around the Canadian side of Lake Ontario. Unfortunately, COVID closed down the US side to us, but these were all cities and towns we'd never explored by boat before, so we're learning a lot as we go. In the past episodes you've seen, we've gone to more small, quaint towns like Cobourg, then we moved west and went to a bigger place, Pickering, onto an even bigger place, the biggest city in Canada, Toronto, and that was epic. Then we moved on to Oakville, and in the last episode you saw that we had a bit of a stressful moment when Janice didn't think we could fit under this lifting bridge as we came into Burlington Bay. We checked out Burlington, which is lush and green. We were a little put off by Hamilton, which looked really kind of spooky and industrial, and we were thinking, man, do we really want to go here? But this episode, we're going to say don't judge a book by its industrial cover because Hamilton is beautiful. So stay tuned and see if you're as surprised as we were.
Weigh anchor and hoist the sail.
Hey everyone.
Hello. We've had a great day. We started off in Oakville.
Yep, we biked around this morning all along the Waterfront path and through a couple of parks, and that was beautiful. And then we sailed on a beam reach. To Burlington, anchored there and biked around again, and went for ice cream, and then we crossed the bay to Hamilton, which is where we're anchored now.
We're about to see a beautiful sunset. Let me just turn the camera around so you guys can enjoy it as well. There's the sunset, awesome. And we're right in front of a beautiful beach here in Hamilton called Bayfront. And yeah, hopefully you guys all had an awesome summer's day and put up with the heat.
It was hot.
It was very hot. We got to swim though.
It's now acceptable.
Yeah, it's now getting cool. Ciao for now.
So we got to shore with all our stuff, and we started doing things, and then you notice the battery was dead. So off he goes to get spare batteries. The dinghy battery is also almost empty. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's Sunday morning.
And we are at Bayfront Park, or anchored in front of Bayfront Park in Hamilton. And we're gonna go for a bike ride.
Yeah, that's about all there is that we could find that was easy to do nearby where we anchored. So
yeah,
check it
bike
out.
trails. There isn't a lot of shopping. We Google mapped like what good restaurants, what coffee shops, whatnot, grocery stores. There wasn't really much near here, although we are in kind of the downtown waterfront of Hamilton. So let me just flip around where we were. Again, we're in front of Bayfront Park. We've anchored all night here. The boat hasn't moved. If you want another anchorage, there's one at the far end of the bay, but as you can see, it's just a forest behind there. So there's really not much out there you can do other than stay on your boat, but we want to go biking. So that's what we're doing today. As you can see, we got our folding bikes out. So let's go explore. Right. We'll let you see what we see. So this is the actual park. Lots of waterfront views and biking and electric scootering, I guess. Our usual Canadian geese everywhere. Little swan action. We actually just saw that swan over there attack that goose to get him to go away from his wife and bebes. I've never seen a swan attack a goose before. He's on the hunt. He's coming back. Is he going to attack these geese? Look out, buddy. He's on the hunt. Look at, he's speeding up.
Claiming territory for the bebes.
Here he comes. Look at him. He's on a mission. He's on a mission. Oh, they know it's coming. He's like, don't even come near my babies.
He's hissing at them.
He's hissing? Or is that the goose?
Yeah, no, the goose. Oh, maybe the goose. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, the goose is hissing.
Hissing back at him.
He's showing his feathers like, I'm bigger than you think I am. That's interesting. Oh, he's chasing this one over here. Oh, look at all the geese. He's like, nobody gets in the water when my kids are around. It's the side of a swan I've never seen before. Look at him making himself as big as he can. That's the warning sign of, don't make me wiggle my tail at you. And there's the babies getting up on shore. Just babies. And this guy's showing his prowess over here. Wiggle the old tail, let him know who's boss. And wow. guy is seriously trying to show his size, and like the Wildlife Channel. I've never seen this before. I thought geese and swans were really. Oh, now red-winged blackbirds come. The baby swan is cheeping. You never hear swans cheep, except for when they're babies, I guess.
Make noise, period.
He's going to see Dad. He says, Dad, I see you're being tough. Can I come over and be tough with you?
It's probably Mom.
Maybe that's Mom, and this docile thing over here is Dad. Who knows? Can't tell them apart. That one's big though. That one's big. Well, this one's big too. I guess they're both big. These are babies, but they're pretty big for babies. This one's got a bulbous thing on its nose. See that?
Oh yeah. Do they both have that?
No.
You sure?
Well, one's much bigger.
Oh, you're right. Then that must be the dad.
This is the dad?
Or what do you call it?
Are they expecting us to feed them? Is there a reason why they're all like crowding around us?
Well, now we'll have to Google that.
Yeah, there's plenty to see in this park. This was near our boat. Janice had a good point though. All these little beaches are getting overrun with geese, and they make poop everywhere, as you can see on the cement. So it kind of makes the beaches a little less than desirable. Now we've gotten on something that's called the Hamilton Harbor Front Trail. Okay, we're learning and we're passing this info along to you. So this waterfront trail goes all the way around. Look at all these nice swans. We stopped to view them. A ton of them over here, trumpeter swans. And if you look, that's the anchorage we were pointing at from where we are anchored, which is just around that peninsula, or you can't quite see us. We're just on the other end of that peninsula right there. Well, yeah, if this goes all the way to where the boats are anchored in the official anchorage, we could have gotten anchored there and gone to shore and taken the bike anyway. So we're gonna bike over there and make sure that that is the case before we tell you that would be the preferable spot to anchor. But yeah.
Lots of swans to see.
Yes.
On Lake Ontario these days.
This is beautiful, Hamilton. Really like it.
I know, I'm not hating it. Well,
I'm not hating it.
I mean, our view of the factories is blocked from this, this angle.
When we first came through that bridge right there, that raising bridge, everything on the left was just rusty factory after rusty factory, and we're like, ooh, do we really want to go to Hamilton? But once you get past that, it's very green and lush, and it's nice.
Little peninsulas block the view of those places.
Yeah. So don't get thrown off by the initial blah of the scenery on the left side as you come through the bridge. All right, let's go bike down there and make sure we can have access to the boats. Okay, let me just say, because the camera doesn't do it justice, it's really hot again today. It's like, I think 33 degrees Celsius out here. But the nice thing about these trails near the water is the breeze off the cooling bay is quite nice. So as long as you're not biking at a breakneck speed, you actually feel quite cool and refreshed. So yeah, another advantage of this trail. Okay, this is the lookout we're at. I don't know if this is the closest yet. We haven't gotten quite to the end of the bay. The thing might be a closer lookout over there, but this is about as close as we're estimating you can get to the boat. I don't know if we can give you proper justice. That's what, 100 yards? Maybe a little more? A little more than 100 yards. So if you got a dinghy, you can get to shore. You could pull it up on these rocks. You could. I don't see any flat walls, or there's definitely not a dock over here. So it's doable. It's doable. And if we did get to shore, you've got to remember now, if you don't have a folding bike like we have over there, you would have one hell of a walk to get just to the park that's over there. I think you can actually see our boat now. Yeah, see the white thing somewhere over there. That's our boat.
Bobbing about over there.
That's where we're anchored. So yeah, if you want to be close to town, you don't have a bike, you're definitely going to want to anchor over by Bayfront Park. And if you want a little more peace and quiet, a little more tranquility, a lot more birds.
We've got the really noisy one, the really
squawky birds. Lots of squawky birds.
Where we are was all pretty birds. So I liked it better.
Say that again?
Where we it was all pretty birds, red-winged blackbirds and
yeah,
barn
for sure.
swallows, etc.
This whole area is really full of swans and lots of geese, lots of birds. So it's quite beautiful, surprisingly. Very nice. Here's our bikes. We just happened to stop beside this little placard. It says this was the boathouse community. So there used to be a community over by this edge of the harbor. Read that at your leisure. Okay, we've gotten to the end of sort of the trail, and then it turns, well, I guess not. I mean, it goes through under this bridge and to another waterway over there. We'll keep checking it out. But just thought I'd let you know, those are the same anchored boats. And we did find at this bend, there is kind of a cement dock. Now, granted, they do have a temporary fence put up. Kind of implies don't walk out any further for your own safety, because clearly they're missing some boards. But if you did tie your dinghy here, you obviously could just step around the fence. So there is a spot, if you anchored here, that you can get to shore in your dinghy.
And there's more baby swans.
And of course there's more swans. One thing I gotta say is they put garbage cans all along this trail, so that's awesome. So if you do bring a lunch, you won't have to carry all your garbage with you, you can drop it on the way. That family having fun over there. I'm not usually a fan of graffiti at all, but I gotta say at least this one, somebody took a little bit of time to do the three-eyed man, whatever that is, some sort of alien. Okay, after we got past the bridges, there's sort of this dam that goes into another bay, and the bike path continues along. We'll see how much further we go. One of the point of interest, it says, caution swimmers, 4 people have already drowned here, do not swim. So I guess every once in a while this gets opened up, and then there's strong currents. So yeah, not a good spot for swimming. And it also says no fishing, even though clearly people are fishing. We were just sitting here deciding if we should keep going on the trail or go back towards the city and see what's in the city, when these guys swam up to us. They do not seem to be at all concerned about humans. This is a different mother, father, kid arrangement than the one we saw before, but they seem to like being near humans and not so much Canadian geese. So
fluffy.
They are so cute and fluffy.
What they do if I pet one?
They would not like it. Do not try and pet one. They would do not. I'm sure these 2 big ones would attack you if you tried to touch the babies. So. There's no lack of trumpeter swans around here. Okay, the trail continues on this new bay. I don't know what this is called, but we could go further and further. So if you're a real bike advocate, yeah, you could have a long day of biking here, which is great.
It is.
We kind of wanted to show you a bit of the city, and we're actually getting further and further away. So we're going to turn around, head back along that same beautiful stretch. Yeah. Okay, we finished coming back to the trail, back to the park where we originated, and there's a nice little gazebo, shade to get out of the heat. Just wanted a little shout out to there's this placard behind us about the Bay Area Restoration Council. So I'm assuming they're in charge of making this Harbourfront Trail and these nice gazebos and all the garbage cans along the way and everything. Very nice. Congratulations to you for doing something that makes Hamilton enjoyable.
It's pretty well maintained, that trail.
Yeah, lots of pedestrians and cyclists. So
fishing.
Yeah, lots of fishing. So yeah, if you have a boat, definitely come to Hamilton and
bring a bike.
Bring a bike. Oh yeah.
That's the main activity, is really biking, because there's nothing really within walking distance here. You know, patio restaurants like there were in Oakville, and the grocery stores are far. You wouldn't be able to walk there. You have to take your bike and bring a backpack. Yeah. So we are going to bike toward the center of town and see what it's about, and just stop somewhere for a drink and then come back.
Yeah. Yep, we checked it out on Google Maps. We obviously haven't biked it all yet, but we couldn't find anything like grocery store, big grocery store. There's little hasty markets and corner stores, but if you need to get provisions, this is not the city to stop.
The closest main one is Fortino's, which is not
far. Yeah, you need a bike. So, all right, let's go check it out. Okay, this is that park we started at. Very pretty. But I always think it's kind of funny when you have to put signs out for the obvious. Okay, there's lots of geese and, well, weeds and all. So why you'd want to swim in this little is beyond me. But anyways, just in case, there's no swimming allowed. You wouldn't think you'd need to say anything more than that, right? But just in case you were planning to just dive in and drown on purpose, there's also no diving allowed. I would have thought that would have implied you can't do that, but you know, just in case you were wondering, you can't do either. Crazy. This is their stadium of some sort. I'm not sure who plays here, but we're clearly in what they would consider downtown Hamilton. We're at York and Bay. Yeah. So we really didn't see anything along our bike ride that was interesting to film. It is nice that there's bike lanes on all these roads, or most of the main roads, which is nice. So they're bike friendly. But yeah, you better bring a bike. There's nothing close to where the marinas are that's of interest, except for that awesome waterfront bike path. Okay, we're in downtown Hamilton, and we found, well, right behind us is an A&W, in case you're interested in that sort of burger thing. Behind us here is a Tim Hortons. I don't know if you can see that right there. And then we Google mapped it, and McDonald's, which is Janice's favorite place to get coffee, and iced coffee is $1 during summer dollar drink days. is literally 4 minutes from here. So we're gonna go the extra 4 minutes and go to get our McDonald's ice cap. Yeah. What are you looking to see how you look?
Oh my God, you might have to cut that out at the end.
She looks good. Onto the McDonald's, which is just at the end of this mall. But for those who want to find somewhere to go grocery shopping, this mall also had a Fortino. So about a, I don't know, 20-minute bike ride, maybe 15 if you're really going. You can get to a place. I don't grocery shop, I didn't know. Janice says Fortino's is like a Loblaws. So there you go. An expensive Loblaws, she says. So if you are a boater and you want to get grocery stores, the Fortino's Mall is also where the McDonald's is. So there you go. So you can tell it's a hot day and it's McDonald's when there's a huge line of cars all lined up in the mall to get into the drive-thru. Oh, air conditioning. So nice, so nice. We had iced coffees and we had these McDonald's slushy things. Amazing, but it's so hot I was trying to get rid of this so we could head back, and I'm giving myself what, 4 brain freezes already.
Yeah.
I'm bad at drinking slushies. So good, but so painful. Well, we're on our way back. So we made it back to Bayfront Park. This is the closest marina to that park. It's smaller. There's also another one just around the bend. It's bigger, and there's another one. There's actually 3 marinas. So if you're a marina get a slip type of person as opposed to anchoring, there are definitely options. Gotta say, these folding bikes I highly suggest, but maybe I need to get my. No, they're only like $200 on Amazon. But yeah, the seat's a bit hard. Yep. So for us non-regular bikers, it's got a bit of a sore butt. Well, but still, it gets you far fast. Yes. Yeah, we love it. Okay, we are done our biking, and we're happy to say our dinghy is still tied to the shoreline here.
Intact with its motor and everything.
Yeah, did not get stolen. But anyways, our boat's there, safe and sound still. So we're not going to bother anchoring over there just to see it because we biked over that way. But outside the lift bridge, we get on the outside, there is a nice beach on the Lake Ontario side. So we're going to go check that out.
We're going to swim over there.
Janice is dire need of a swim. Look at how glistening we are.
And we were swimming here yesterday, but as we biked around, there was a little beach that said closed due to high levels of bacteria. So
a lot of geese in this water, and it's probably not a very, there's no current probably, so bacteria.
I don't feel like swimming in it again. We're gonna go to the beach.
We might already be glowing. You never know. Okay, so we're gonna go get the real beach on the Lake Ontario side. We'll probably show you going through the lift bridge one more time. We had no problem anchoring or tying our dinghy to this wall and getting up. It was awesome. This is what our bikes look like when they're completely folded up. That's how small they are. In fact, we could probably make it smaller to put the seats down. Anyways, very compact, goes in our lazarette. Very recommended if you're a boater. Janice is out there with the bucket just cleaning off a little bit of dirt off the anchor, but gotta say, one good sign of an anchorage is not a lot of weeds on the anchor. In fact, I don't think there were any weeds on the anchor that time. So A+ to anchoring beside Bayfront Park. Awesome. Off to the lift bridge, which only opens on the half hour and the hour, and you have to be within a certain radius or they don't consider you one of the boats going through. So we gotta move it. Okay, we checked the clock, and on Navionics to check the distance. It's already 1:46 and it's 3.1 miles to the bridge, which I'll show you in a second. We can't possibly make it there in 15 minutes.
And I hate rushing. Yeah. I would rather relax and catch the next opening. For now, we'll just take a closer look at this shoreline because we're probably not coming back to it
anytime soon.
Ever, maybe.
Well, I like Hamilton's bike.
Yeah, but
yeah, well, anyways. So let's show you what there is.
Not this year.
This is the closest marina, the littler marina to us, and then there's another marina right there, and maybe I'll give you a shot of one more marina, third marina further away around as we head back towards the bridge over there. Let me just zoom in for you. That is the lift bridge that only opens on the hour and the half hour, but you have to be within their cement walls for you to count. So if you're not, then they won't open it for you. And that's where we're heading. We can't possibly make it there in time, so we're just going to throw the Genoa up and drift in that general direction. And we can get a closer look at these so lovely factories along the way.
Mind you, like getting closer to them.
Yeah, let's go get close. So this is the Hamilton industrial side. I want to get it close to that one up there. It looks like something out of a movie scene. Comment below, anybody from Hamilton, and tell me what this factory is. From a distance, it looks very ominous. When you get close up, you realize mostly it's brown buildings. We thought it was rusty buildings, but it's probably just painted brown. Anyways, be a cool, like, movie set. We have a new tanker in the bay. Oh, so pretty.
We're coming toward that lift bridge again, and there's a couple of power boats waiting as well. So we'll just wait behind them. The bridge just honked, I guess to tell people to stop getting on the bridge traffic-wise. Probably honk again to say it's happening. There's a siren now, warning traffic. It's lifting slowly.
Now, I don't know if you watched the last episode when we came through this lift bridge the first time. Janice absolutely panicked. She was sure that we weren't going to make it under the bridge. And even though we proved we could make it under once they stopped lifting the bridge, you can tell she still isn't 100% sure.
I hope it's good. This was very stressful last time and I freaked out. To me, it does not look high enough, but it's not rising anymore, so hopefully they know what they're doing. Those guys in there. Okay, I guess we'll make it. Made it. Then he honked at us, stressed me out. But that's it, folks. We survived. So there's the beach where it seems to be happening. That looks like the hangout in this area. It's like pretty much between Burlington and Hamilton. There's tons of boats and tons of people. So we're gonna anchor and swim over there where there's not high levels of bacteria.
Okay, we are anchored in front of Burlington Beach. It's one more positive reason to come to the Hamilton/Burlington area. I'll pan around in a second. But overall, I really liked this bay. I liked Burlington, it was very cute, but mostly residential. So if you're coming for peace and quiet, that's probably the side you want to go on. Plus the water was probably cleaner on that side.
Oh, for sure.
Hamilton on the other side.
I couldn't see a feet deep on the Hamilton side.
Yeah, it's the water's a little murky. We swam a little bit off the boat and Janice actually had to jump in to get one of her shirts, which meant her head went under.
On the Burlington side.
Oh, on the Burlington, thank God.
On the Hamilton side, it did feel, I don't know.
Swampier?
Yeah, you can only see a foot deep. Like when the anchor was coming up, I could barely see it till it was almost at the surface. So.
Yeah. And now that we're out of that bay, past the lift bridge, we're out in Lake Ontario. So there's the beach. Long sand beach. Sand looks really nice. We're just going to swim off of our boat. But Janice noticed when the anchor went in, she could see the anchor all the way down, the chain going all the way down in the water. It's much cleaner out here. The downside is it's probably much colder out here. Because at least the water was warm inside the Hamilton.
Because of all the factories, all the run.
Maybe.
I'm guessing they must use the why have be along the water if you're not using water to cool, like an engine. You know, it's probably got cold water coming in, hot water coming out.
Yeah, they're using it to cool their machinery or whatever they're using it for. And so maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's also the bay's pretty shallow, so it heats up pretty quick. Yeah, anyways, we're about to go in, we'll let you know, but just assume it's colder. Just a side note, in case you're wondering why we seem to anchor everywhere we go. Well, two reasons. A, it's COVID time. Most of the marinas we talked or looked at online, they weren't taking new transient boaters. They're just their own people, their own members could obviously use the facilities, but they weren't letting outside people. Toronto was the exception. Outer Harbor Marina was like nothing had ever happened. They let us come in. There was no special social distancing other than signs saying stay more than 6 feet apart from each other, but other than that all the washrooms and facilities in the buildings were open. Yeah, but a lot of the other ones not open. Plus Janice and I are frugal sailors, and if we had the ability to anchor here for free, let's say by this beach, or go a mile upriver and anchor or pay to go in a marina, we will anchor every single time if it's free and a good holding ground for anchoring, because we have solar on our boat back there, and so we don't need power. We don't need to plug into power. We have two 50-gallon water tanks, so once we fill up at a marina like we did in Toronto, we're good for water for quite a while. So yeah, why pay for a marina when you don't have to? So that's the reason. Just thought you might be wondering. Okay, I got in the water again. Janice again lied to me and said it was quite nice. Quite
excellent.
It is cold.
It was not even refreshing. It was so warm.
Oh, we have different ideas of what's comfortable. The bay was comfortable for me. It's probably like 75 to 80 degrees.
It was like sitting in someone's used bathwater.
But see what I gotta put out with? It was comfortable. I got in and I wanted to stay in. This one I got in and instantly was like, oh, okay, I'm out. But anyway, we're on a time crunch because now we have a 25-mile journey to our next town, which is St. Catharines. So join us for that. We're leaving this beach because it's effing cold here. Lake Ontario in general is cold. Okay, we are leaving Hamilton and Burlington. As you can see, we're dragging the tender as always. Nice place. I'll definitely come back here. It's got stuff for it, going for it. And we are now motoring / motor sailing to St. Catharines. Again, we put ourselves in a bit of a time crunch because it's 3:31 p.m. and it's 25 miles to St. Catharines, which is, if you use a 5-knot average, it's about 5 hours. But with motor sailing, we're doing closer to 6, so we'll get there in 4 to 5 hours. So we'll be getting dusky when we get there. Don't want to go into a new anchorage in the dark if you've never been there before. So yeah, we couldn't lollygag on the beach back there because of that reason. Did I rush you off your swimming?
Yep.
Time crunches.
It was beautiful water. The best.
Was it?
Best water so far.
It's got to be, but it was like 72 at best. That's all chilly on my books. Another beautiful day. We looked at the forecast. It hasn't rained in like 10 days. It's been sunny every day. And
everywhere we go, the grass is brown.
Yeah, it's dried up.
Very droughty.
Droughty. Good word. And we looked at the forecast, and like there's no forecasted real rain for like the next at least a week. So yeah, Lake Ontario might get pretty shallow if it keeps up like this.
The temperatures are going up and up. Like every day it's another degree hotter.
Yeah, what's it, like 33 today?
The next day is going to be 34.
34. Yeah, we can't complain. This is perfect weather for vacationing. We could have fallen into the opposite trap, which is it rains every single day, which would have sucked. Goodbye, Hamilton. I'm sure I'm going to get some flack from some sailor out there whenever they see us sailing or motor sailing with only the Genoa. They're going to ask, why don't we use our mainsail? 2 reasons. A, we have a crappy mainsail because we have the in-mast furling variety, which means it's really just a triangular piece of cloth that comes out of your mast. And yeah, it doesn't have battens, it doesn't really hold its shape, there's not a lot of extra power. We've done the math. If we pull out the main, it's a pain in the butt and we only add maybe a knot of speed, so yeah, why bother? And as you can see, we're not getting much benefit out of motor sailing, even the Genoa right now. It's so little wind. It is coming from our beam, what little wind there is, so at one point we were actually getting a full sail. But right now it's doing nothing. But a Genoa is so easy to roll in and roll out, so if the wind either dies completely or changes to be right on the nose, I just roll it in. It's simple. This thing jams and it's just difficult. Another reason is it is stinking hot out here, and as you can see, maybe you can't see, I'll just have to tell you, we've taken the zippered middle portion and just laid it over, well, one of our rugs so it doesn't scratch on the deck. And the problem with that is now we've blocked our traveler. So our traveler would need to be accessible if we were going to use our boom for our mainsail. So anyways, we do have our reasons for not putting both sails up. A lot of times it's just easier with just the Genoa. There you go. Join us next episode where we find a beautiful spot to anchor in front of a beach at St. Catharines, Ontario. The weather is beautiful. A little bit hot because we do a lot of exploring on the bike, do a marathon session. But after you burn all those calories in this stifling heat, you have to treat yourself with some ice cream, and we found that there as well. There's a lot to do and see in St. Catharines, and it's a great spot to reprovision because there's a lot of stores, including a Costco. But you're going to need a folding bike, just like Hamilton. Not too much that's within walking distance of where you would anchor, or even a marina. So yeah, get yourself an e-bike, a scooter, some way of transporting yourself in the heat without having to pedal the entire time, or you're going to have to owe your wife a lot of ice cream. Hopefully you found the episode entertaining or informative. If so, show the channel some love by giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of those future episodes. A special shout out to the patrons that support the channel. You guys rock. And until next time, this is Craig and Janice signing off, wishing you safe cruising.
Weigh anchor and hoist the sail.